Let me ask you a simple question. As you look back on your life over, say, the past 5 years or so, what has changed in your life in, say, the last 5 years? We can go back further, 10 years if you like. Or are you kind of still back in the same condition that you've been for at least the last 5 years and nothing much has changed? If this applies to you, then I'd like to share with you a little quote from a great man who's not with us anymore, a man by the name of Charlie Jones. He wrote a book called Life is Tremendous. And one of Charlie's most famous statements is this. He said, "You will be the same person in 5 years as you are today, except for the people you meet and the books you read." Now, that might sound simplistic, but it's true. If you think back on what has changed in your life in the past while, especially in the last 5 years, I'll guarantee that you've met some people that had an influence on you and changed your way of thinking and the way you did things. And if you're a reader, the books that you read change you. Now, it's a known fact that the most famous and successful people in this world are readers. Many of the most famous and wealthy men out there will tell you that they read a lot of books. Some of them, you can't believe how many books they read in a year. Reading is important, but it's kind of become something we don't have time for anymore these days. It's so much easier just to watch a video, and some of us just don't like reading. It reminds us of being at school. Now, Charlie Jones himself, he was a great man and a born-again believer, although he worked in the secular world. In his book, Life is Tremendous, he tells the story of how he wanted to get his son motivated and to rise up and be successful. But he just couldn't persuade him to read. So he came up with a plan. He promised his son that he would pay him a certain amount of money for every book that he read. And he had to afterwards submit a book review with the basic main material that was in that book so that he would know that he did actually read it, and then he paid him his money. Well, the son thought this was brilliant. What an easy way to get money. He started reading books. And Charlie shares how much later in life, how his son came back to him and he said, "I'm so thankful that you made me read those books because they put a foundation in me and prepared me for life." Oh, I wish I could pay you to read my books, because God has allowed me to produce many, many books. They're totaling about 80 different books already that I've published on so many subjects. You see, I struggled myself to make it in life. Nothing came easy. I was a failure going somewhere to happen. But God gave me the ability to write books. I started out by reading everybody else's. Everything I could lay my hands on. I got into the whole self-help thing and bought all the books that I could to read. But they seemed to fall short of what I really wanted. And the Lord said, "Well, why don't you let me show you some principles that none of them are teaching? And then why don't you start to write some good books based on the word solidly that can help my people rise up and succeed?" And the first and most powerful series that I did is entitled The New Way of Blessing. It's actually a trilogy, 3 full volumes of teaching. And the Lord showed me the key to succeeding and to getting everything that we desire in life. You see, all self-help people out there, they all kind of teach the same thing. They teach you that the power is in your mind. And if you can put the right pictures in your mind and get your mind active, your mind will create. And then, of course, your mind will interact with the universe, and the universe will give you They don't want to call him God. They call him the universe. No, the power is not in your mind. The power is not in your soul. It's in your spirit. And God showed me that there are three powerful forces resident in the human spirit, that if you could tap into and release into this world and into your life, could give you everything that you ever desired. And yet so few folks have taken the time to go through the way of blessing. I guarantee if you read these 3 volumes and absorbed everything that was in it, your life will never be the same again. I know, because I proved the principles that I taught there. I lived them. For over 17 years, we lived in Mexico without any guaranteed support of income. And we used those principles to trust God and to believe him for our daily bread and to take us through. And by the time we left there, we had accumulated a lot of possessions, and God had blessed us tremendously. There is gold in those books. And those aren't the only books that we've done. In recent times, the Lord allowed me to even add more to the way of blessing, and I began a new series called Tapping Your Inner Resources. So my question to you is this: who are you meeting that is going to change your life? Perhaps, like most of us, you're stuck in a place where you're not getting an opportunity to meet many people, and you see many famous people rising up, and I wish I could just go and talk with that guy and ask him. Well, most of them have put all the truths that they have into writing, and their books are available. Well, the Lord allowed us to do actually even more than that, because it started out with me not only writing these, but actually preaching them into camera. And so most of our teachings are available on video and were then converted to audio for those who prefer to listen to an audio file. Reading takes your time, and you can't do anything else while you're reading. But if you can play an audio file and listen to it, you could be doing things around the house. You could be doing something with your hands while you're listening and absorbing. You can listen while you're riding in your car. So all of these materials are available in video form and in audio form. And then we transcribe them and we put them into printed books. They're all available. But if you're the kind of person who's sitting waiting for something to change, well, I prayed and I asked the Lord, and I'm waiting for things to change. Well, how is God going to bring change? He can give you revelation, yes, if you get into his word. And you know what? The word is a book. It's been written. You got 66 books there you can start with. I'll guarantee you don't take that much time to read them. They're just lying there, accomplishing nothing. And then there are so many books out there. So many books. Well, I'd like to encourage you to get some of my books because they've got gold in them. And recently, I began to go through all of them to prepare a short advertisement to tell you what's in all of our books. And I couldn't believe how much gold is there. I got excited all over again. And I thought, those are good books. I need to go and read them again because God gave me amazing revelation. And I believe that you can benefit. Now, if you are a partner with us and contributing on a monthly basis, you actually have free access to every one of our books. And not only have we given you access to the text of the books, but where these came from a preached message, we actually are giving you the audio files to listen to as well. So you can read them and you can listen to them. All of this is available to you. If you join our schools, well, then you get the whole lot. You get the videos, the audios, and the transcripts. But that's geared specifically for training you for your ministry. So, is your life going to change? Was it going to remain the same? 5 years from now, your life could be changed by the books that you read. And if you haven't met us in the flesh yet, well, one of these days we'll have a conference again. You can come and actually meet us, and you can get some impartation from us. And that's going to change your life as well, because this is the way God works. I look forward to seeing you rise up to your full potential and becoming everything that God made you to be. And we are here to help that happen for you. May the Lord bless you.